Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Tapping Circle. I'm your host, Sophia. I'm delighted to be here with you today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for taking time to get into your own self, to get into your own process, to do some good internal emotional hygiene. Yes, keeping it clean in here means that what we're creating has a stable foundation. I'm here live with you. I'm saying hi to whoever's logging into the chat. If you want me to say hi to you, pop your name in there. Hey, Eric. Hi, Mark. Hi, Luna in Florida. Welcome back. Seeing Ivy in Brooklyn saying lovely to see you. Lovely to be with you, too. So glad you guys are doing this with me. This is our 11th year. If my memory serves me correctly, of broadcasting, which is pretty wild to do anything weekly consistently for 11 years. And before that, we did these in different spaces, including starting in my own house. So it's been, probably 20 years of holding this rhythmic drum beat so that people can ground and center. So speaking of centering, today's theme is the center of the center. So what does that mean? Well, for me, it means that I find my center and hold that center in this place that can never be disturbed, this place that is the eternal source of creation that we're all made from, that it's weaving the theme of our being through time and space as we continue to grow and roll as energy, right? So there's this eternal aspect to ourselves. And when there's so much chaos, which is what our last circle was, or there's even just so much goodness and so much change and so much growth, you can get dysregulated from things being amazing and this amazing and that amazing and this amazing. It's like, whoo, it can almost be destabilizing. So whether you're moving through lots of pain or trauma or suffering, or whether it's raining blessings on you, the important aspect is to stay centered so that you can do what needs to be done, land squarely and fairly with the situation, and stay here in this beautiful space where you are capable and able, to be able to keep moving the way you need to be moving and integrating and flowing. So today's theme is the center of the center. So how would you apply that to your life? Where is it that you get off center and dysregulated? Is it the high highs and you get attached to that, like, I just want to get up there and get super excited, right? Or is it, whoa, I stay down here and I get dysregulated down here. Or maybe there's just this numb kind of like, I'm not centered because I'm just diffused and I'm lost and I feel kind of, free floating and lack of focus. Wherever you need centering in any area of your life, I want you to focus on that topic for the core causes questions. I see a whole bunch more people piling into the room. Maria, hi. And Sean in Houston, and Jory in East Bay, and Joyce in Seattle, and Devora in LA, Sunny in Washington, Tracy in Austin, Diana in New Mexico, Kim in Reno. Hi, everybody. So glad you're here. All right, we're going to jump into the core causes questions. Your topic is going to be where you need centering and stabilizing in your life so that you can continue to move with grace and ease and, passion and purpose. Okay, 5 minutes, in you go. See you on the other side for some amazing tapping. Here we go. All right, sweet beings, are you ready? Let's jump into the purple, the portal. My lips, they're frozen. Let's jump into the portal and shift reality. Finding the collarbones, sliding down to the front of the chest, massaging the sore spots in the front of the chest. Big deep breath, tuning into your issue. And if your issue had a title, what would it be? If it were a movie, what would the movie title be? And when I say this issue, I'm going to ask you to say that movie title. Here we go. Even though part of me has this issue called, and then say your issue. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the eyebrows. Part of me has an issue with, and then say the title again. And tapping the temples. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the cheeks, even with this part of me. Tapping into the nose. That's struggling with, and then say your issue again. Tapping under the lips. A part of me feels, how do you feel about this? Lost, stuck, confused. Tapping the chest. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, tapping the front of the ribs, even if there's a part of me, tapping the side of the ribs, that feels really, and then say again how you feel about this. Tapping the inside of the wrist. This part of me that feels, and then say it again. Tapping the side of the thumb. It's okay. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, tapping the index finger, even if I feel really, and say one more time how you're feeling about this issue. And breathe. Tapping the middle finger, and just accept for 30 seconds these feelings that you've just been mentioning. I accept that I feel, and then name them again. And tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. Just allowing yourself to be right where you are. Maybe you feel like you're a mess. Maybe you feel like you don't know which direction to turn. Tap the little finger and breathe. I'm tapping the side of the hand. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the top of me and the sides of me and the eyebrows of me. Big deep breath. Tapping the temples. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the cheeks and breathing. It's okay. Tapping into the nose. I accept that I'm having a hard time right now with, and then say what it is for you. Grounding, centering, relaxing, being present. Tapping under the lips. Big deep breath. Tapping the chest. It's possible that I'm used to feeling, and then say what you're used to feeling: chaotic, scattered, dysregulated, anxious, lost in this area of my life. Tapping the front of the ribs. So let's go a little deeper. Where did you pick up this energy or this habit? So maybe it's being triggered by circumstances or people or events in your life right now. Tapping this side of the ribs. And also, maybe it's a habit that you picked up from the environment you came from. Check and see. Did the people who raised you feel similarly to the way you've just described? Did they also have a hard time? Tapping the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the index finger. Even if I picked this up early in my life from being around who? Who in your family matches this kind of attitude, energy, or feeling? I'm tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. It's okay if I'm carrying some of, and then just say their name, like my aunt's energy, my father's energy, my mother's energy. Tap the little finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the side of the hand, even if I'm still carrying. And then say whose energy or attitude or feelings these might be. Big deep breath. Tapping the top of the head. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the sides of the head, back of the head, and breathing. I'm tapping the eyebrows. I give myself permission. Tapping the temples. To release this from my body. Tapping the cheeks. Especially in the area of what? What is the area that this is really showing up for you in? Is it love? Is it family? Is it work? Is it health? Tapping into the nose. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping under the lips. Even if there's a part of me struggling with, and then say it again. Tapping the chest. Tapping the front of the ribs. It's safe for me to begin to release where I picked up this energy and when I picked up this energy. Tapping the side of the ribs. Ask yourself, how old were you when you started living like this, feeling this way, behaving this way? That's right, good job. Tap the inside of the wrist. Yeah, I was pretty little. What were you trying to deal with at the time? Was it your parents' divorce? Was it people fighting in your household? Was it people leaving or dying? Being attacked? Feeling like you had to attack to protect yourself? Tapping the index finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the middle finger. It is safe for me. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. To release this pattern from my body that threw me off center. Tap the little finger. I want you to feel that off center feeling. How does that occur for you? Tapping the side of the hand. Is it anxiety? Is it a heaviness? Is it a kind of a disassociation? Is it a feeling of being really sleepy and having a hard time concentrating? Tapping the top of the head, this part of me. Tapping the sides of the head and the back of the head. That feels, and then say again how it shows up for you. Is it shut down? Is it disoriented? Is it scattered? Is it just forgetful and spacey? Big, deep, noisy breath. Strong inhalation. Strong exhalation. Tapping under the nose. And breathe. Tapping under the lips. I give myself permission to release this spell that I've been under. Tap the chest. Describe the spell. The spell of feeling frenetic, frantic, scattered. This spell of feeling heavy, sleepy, forgetful. Tap the front of the ribs. That I picked up from where? Tap the side of the ribs. I saw or heard. Who modeled this? Tapping the inside of the wrist. Big deep breath. Tapping the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the index finger, even though I saw. Who do what? Maybe mom yelling at dad and dad shutting down. Or dad checking out, leaving his body parked there while his mind and heart and energy were gone. Tap the middle. It's possible that I learned to do the same thing. Fourth finger, big deep breath. It's possible that I learned to do, and then say what you saw. Maybe you learned to be like mom, staying anxious and worried. Or like dad, angry, critical. Or you learned from your brother to just disassociate. Tapping the side of the hand. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, tapping the top of the head, and giving myself permission to recover my center. Tapping the temples, big deep breath. Tapping the cheeks, even in the midst of what? Tapping under the nose, it's okay. Tapping under the lips. It's possible that I'm going back to take care of that part of me that had no other role model. Tap the chest, no other choices. This part of me that learned what? What did you learn or decide was true? About you, about life, about people, about being close to people, or about this kind of situation. I decided, say it again, tapping the inside of the wrist. I learned Tapping the side of the thumb. It's okay. Tap the index finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the middle finger. Even though I learned what? Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. It's safe for me to release this idea. Tap the little finger. And ask yourself, is there any part of me that wants to hold on to this belief, attitude, or thought? Tap the side of the hand. Say that limiting belief again. What is this idea that you picked up? And ask yourself, is there a part of me that's attached to that? And if so, ask yourself why. Why do I want to hold on to this? Tapping the side of the head, the back of the head. And just blurt out the first thing that comes to mind. I want to hold on to this in an effort to what? Tapping the temples and breathing. Tapping the cheeks. Holding on to this, tapping under the nose. Tapping under the lips in an effort to, and then say it again. Tapping the chest. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the side of the ribs. And I give myself permission to, and then say again what you're giving yourself permission to do. To release this thought. To begin to let go of thinking this is protecting me. Teaching myself or someone else a lesson. Tap the side of the thumb. Or keeping me from what? Keeping me from getting hurt or overwhelmed or in trouble. Tapping the index finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the middle finger exactly as I am. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. Is it possible to accept myself? Tap the little finger even if I feel, and then tune in to your issue again. How do you feel about it? Scattered, stuck, cloudy, confused, knocked out of my body. Tap the side of the hand. Big deep breath. Tapping the top of the head. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Sides of the head, back of the head, eyebrows. I give myself the possibility. And create a possibility for yourself. Tap the cheeks. The possibility of rapidly recovering my center. Tapping under the nose. Even if tapping under the lips. Part of me still kind of attached. And then say those limiting beliefs again. To believing what? Tapping the chest. Big noisy breath. Big sigh. Tapping the front of the ribs. So let's ask again. What's the upside to being off-center? Tap the side of the ribs. Well, I don't have to be as powerful. Right? Because when something's slightly off register, it's not quite as aligned and potent, right? Am I afraid of coming into alignment and centering myself for any reason here. Big, deep, noisy breath. Tap the side of the thumb. And if you are, that's okay. Just accept for now whatever's kicking and screaming, being like, oh, it's scary. It's too much. Because if I were in my center, most of the time, tap the index finger, what would happen? Tap the middle finger. What would happen if you found yourself centered in your center most of the time? Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. If I were centered in my absolute core center most of the time, tap the little finger. What do you think would happen? Let's just process it out, whether it's extremely good or extremely bad, or a combination of those things. Take 1 whole minute, free tapping on any of the points. You can catch back up with me in a minute and begin to discuss all the things that could happen if you were centered most of the time. Keep breathing and tapping. Breathing and tapping. Keep talking. Yeah, and then what would happen? Tapping under the lips. And then what? Tapping the chest. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the front of the ribs. I accept this part of me that's been trying to protect myself from all of that. Doing what I'm familiar with. Tap the side of the ribs. Started when I was really young. Or maybe even earlier. Tap the inside of the wrist, tuning in again to the root of this issue. When you started living off-center, big deep breath. Tap the side of the thumb. It's okay if I'm not even sure what being centered really feels like. At least not for very long. Tapping the index finger. It's okay. If it's a new experience, to stay grounded, relaxed, centered in my heart, centered inside my body. What do I mean by that? Tap the middle finger. I want you to tune in to where center feels energetically and physically for you. It may be the center of your body, meaning, halfway into your body, halfway up and down, like right here in the middle of your chest. It also might be that you sense it in front of you, or kind of off to one side, or even behind you. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. So wherever you sense your natural hangout zone is, I want you to ask yourself to just gently recenter yourself energetically so that you are centered in the middle of your physical body, front to back and left to right, up to down. to be in the center of your chest, a few inches in. Letting yourself create a vertical access energetically, meaning there's a band of energy that streams downward through your torso, through your butt, through what you're sitting on into the earth, and upwards through your chest, through your heart, through your throat, through your brain, and out the top of your head. And just feel that plumb line. And again, adjust it left to right, back to front, up to down. And breathe, tap the little finger. And I want you just to allow your body to feel what that is. Even if it's new or awkward or takes a lot of focus, tap the side of the hand and just forgive yourself for any wobbliness, sensing the center of your center. It's just new neural networks being built. Big deep breath. Tapping the sides of the head and the back of the head. Tapping the eyebrows. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the temples and allowing myself to come into register with myself. That's where my potency is. Tapping into the nose. That's where my power is. Tapping into the lips. That's where I can sense most clearly. Listen most easily. Tapping the chest. Respond most calmly. Tapping the front of the ribs. I allow myself to begin to make this my natural default. Tap the side of the ribs. Even if it's early days, tap the inside of the wrist. Even if I don't know anyone else who is actually centered most of the time. And you might not. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tap the index finger, even if it's brand new, to be here in present time, relaxed, conscious and aligned. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger and breathe. Tap your little finger. I give myself permission to enjoy this new space. Tap the side of the hand. To begin to relax and let go. Right? So when you're really centered in the center, there's so much less wobble and effort because it's like walking a tightrope. There's a moment when it just clicks and then you can watch the tightrope walker just dance back and forth and jump up and down because they're centered, right? It takes that moment. So tapping the top of the head, I allow myself to become more and more relaxed in this space. Tap the eyebrows, connected to myself, tapping the temples. How does it feel in your body right now to be centered in your center? Maybe it's quite easy and you're just like, oh, it feels good, thank you for the reminder. And maybe it's like, whoa, what's this? Tapping under the lips. This center is a place of peace. Tapping the chest. This center is a place of power. Tapping the chest. This is my center. Tapping the side of the ribs. My power comes from this peaceful center. All right, check and see if that's true. When you are peaceful and calm and present in real time, right here, how do you feel? You feel stable? Confident? Relaxed? Poised for anything? Ready for anything? Because you're just available, relaxed, but alive? I'm tapping the index finger. Yeah. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the middle finger. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger, and I give myself permission to begin to expand and relax into this center of centers. Tapping the little finger. It's possible that this space is always here. Tapping this side of the hand. Has never been damaged. Cannot be touched. Tap the top of the head. And is always mine. Right? You can refuse to be there, but you can't actually give it to someone else as much as you may have tried. Giving it to a lover, a child, a job, a friend, even a purpose, right? There's an energy behind all of that that is uniquely yours, that feeds you eternally. Tapping under the lips. What if I allow myself to connect to this source permanently? What would that be like? Permanently? What would that be like? Is that okay? Is it okay to just be like, yeah, I'm building my house here. This is where I live. Tap the front of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the front of the ribs. I give myself permission to stand in my center. So I just saw Deva say in the chat, what happens if I get sleepy? Stand up, walk around. You don't have to stare at this screen. Your nervous system is updating. Tap the inside of the wrist. Stay present for this. I give myself permission. Say it loud. I give myself permission to stay relaxed and at home in the center of my center. Tap the side of the thumb. It's okay if it takes a while to get used to this. Yeah? Tap the index finger. I can go and come back as many times as I need. Tap the middle finger. But this eternal space will always be mine. Let's proclaim that together. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. This eternal space will always be mine. Woo! It's so fiery. I'm getting warm over here. This eternal space will always be mine. Tapping your little finger and breathing. Yes, that's right. Tapping the side of the hand. I give myself permission to relax and enjoy this centered feeling. Tap the top of the head, tuning into your body again. See if you can find that place. Front to back, left to right, up to down. this eternal space that you can expand, you can contract, you can expand, you can make it bigger than your body. So it's just like, whoo, I could have a dance party in here. I couldn't even get out of center if I wanted to. There's so much room. Tapping your chest and breathing. Tapping the front of the ribs. I love and respect myself. Tapping the side of the ribs. And I give myself the possibility and create a beautiful possibility for yourself right now. What are you creating from this eternal center? What else? Say it again. This is my natural habitat. Tap the index finger. This is where I feel the best. Tap the middle finger. And breathe. This is where I come from these days. That's a fun one. This is where I come from these days. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Yeah, when do these days begin? It begins when I say they begin. How about now? This is where I come from. Tap the little finger. Because why? What's the benefit to resting in this eternal center? Clarity, sovereignty, peace, creativity, restful energy, ease of decision making, a naturalness in the way I move my body, tapping into the nose, an emptiness in my mind, tapping under the lips, tuning in again. Find that center in your body, expand it to whatever size feels the yummiest for you. There you go. Beautiful. Tap the center of the chest and breathe. This is my space, my eternal place. And breathe. Let every cell in your body sense what this is. Let this energy emanate and begin to register in your muscles and your bones. Tapping down to the front of the ribs. I allow this. I create this for myself. This is my birthright. This is my home. This energy is always here for me. Tapping all over the body, everyone. How are you feeling? Pop it in the chat if you can type. I can tell you I feel really shifted. I feel very alive and relaxed and electric and calm all at the same time. Jessica says, if I were centered most of the time, what would happen is possibly the most magical phrase I've ever tapped to. I love it. Well, I just said it for the first time in my life, right here, because I'm centered in my system and I'm listening, and that's where all these taps come from. Right? There's something that is aware and beautiful and alive that loves to move through and give us a special tapping experience. And I'm so grateful. Mark says, I feel good. Yeah. Joyce says, thank you. I feel very relaxed and carefree. Isn't that beautiful? You did that for yourself, Joyce. Just by showing up, going through this little tapping process. You can do this anytime you want, everybody. These taps are yours. They are in the video library. We can be tapping together every day. And whether I'm broadcasting in that very second or I pre-broadcasted for you to be in that second with you, it has the same effect. It feels the same, and I am still as with you. For reals. It works like that. Deva says, thanks, Sonya and team and everyone here. I also want to remind you that these taps are short. They move quickly. So that, it may be like, ooh, I need to do that one like 3 more times. And space it out a little bit, like every couple of days, to really like get the juice of it in me, right? Sometimes it takes a while for us to develop a new imprint in our nervous system. So, I'm just giving you the tiniest little sippy cup full. So let yourself move the way you need to move and commit to your own development. This is spiritual and energetic and psychological development. But what do you get when you commit to that? You get a brand new you. You get a refurbished, beautiful you. Which means we all get you at your next level. Which means the world changes because you're changing. And everything you touch and dream and do and dance and say and speak and feel comes from a higher frequency. A more perfected and refined version. Because you took the time to scrub that channel clean. So good job. Yes, she says, a fresh breeze of confidence. Serena says, I feel grateful that I've learned an aspect of my issue really stems from my own inner choice, and that my peace at the end of the day is my responsibility no matter how I'm treated. Right. And how you allow that treatment to continue or say, thank you so much. I've graduated from this kind of treatment. David says, yes, the fatigue and sleepiness can be a source of resistance of the ego. Exactly. And I would just call it the identity, right? It's just your basic template of being is shifting and it's trying to protect itself. And that's going to be a continuous process, especially for those who are going through the training, which, David, I know you are coming. And Serena, I know you're coming. So I'm really happy that you're here in the circle working stuff through beforehand. All right. All right, I'm just scrolling up through the text here. I love you. I want you to know that the fall training is, we have a waiting list for that. If you want to sign up, get on the list. We haven't opened it officially for registration, but we will. The spring training is officially full and registration has ended, but you'll have a chance to come in another 6 months. And I will also be teaching some new courses soon, because we have this gorgeous new space and it's almost ready, which means I can actually start doing some weekend events and day-long events for those of you who are like, I don't know that I want to be a practitioner. I just want some healing and some connection and to grow and evolve and to work on myself. We're creating space for that now. So that's what I'm spending some of my time creating, and it's very fun for me. Trainwithsonya.us is where you're going to find the information for the practitioner training that's coming up in the fall. And let's see. Jessica said, I really had the experience of resistance too. I almost gave up, and then I decided I owed it to myself to see it through. That choice point and the next prompts just cracked me open. It was a beautiful sensation of release, calm, and peace. And Jessica, that description is what happens for everyone. There's always a moment right before we break through and go to the next level where we feel tired, agitated, distracted. We're like, and we want to push a little. And if we just hang in there and be like, actually, no, then boop, we get to go to the next level. If we don't and we get distracted or we stay cranky or resistant, we get to stay where we were for as long as we're choosing to honor that experience and be afraid of hanging out for that one more actual moment. And really it can be like 1 to 2 minutes more, and then boom, we're there. So good job being tough love with yourself and being like, I'm staying here, and using your will. That's the correct use of will. Your will isn't meant to power through hard stuff constantly. Your will is to help you get to the place where you can massage stuff through so that it can be flowing and easy again. And then if it gets stuck, you use your will right there, and then it opens up again. So tapping is always going to bring you to the next level. Every time you apply it, I just want to remind you that you're always getting, ratcheted up to the next level of able to use your intelligence, able to stay grounded and calm in your body, able to have more spiritual and emotional and sensual connections, able to bring your dreams into physical 3D reality where you can share them in a tangible way with other people. That's the benefit to doing our work. And that does change the world, right? That's always going to be my theme, is that people make the planet. So by doing this with you, we are literally changing our civilization in these bodies in this lifetime. Oh, yes, indeed. All right, y'all, I could chat with you all night long. I love you so much. I listened to a song today that just broke my heart open. I sang it around the house at top volume all day long. Here it is for you. I love you so much. Enjoy this song called Center of the Center by Alexa Sunshine Rose, and I'll see you in the circle.
In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining.